Can you imagine a 90-year-old woman becoming pregnant and giving birth to 10 children? It sounds impossible, doesn't it? Yet today's story will leave you completely shocked. An elderly woman in her 80s not only became pregnant, but delivered multiple babies. This incredible tale has gone viral across the internet and contains important life lessons about family, respect, and the consequences of our actions. Stay with me until the end to discover how this seemingly impossible situation unfolded and what crucial message it holds for all of us. In a small rented flat in the city lived a couple with their family. Their household consisted of 7 members: the husband, wife, and their 5 children. Our story revolves around a woman named Sahara. Sahara has 5 children, 3 sons and 2 daughters. Sahara is now 80 years old, and her husband is 90. By the grace of Allah, they are still healthy and active. Among their 3 sons, one lives in America, while the other 2 work in government jobs in their home country. Their 2 daughters are still unmarried, though they have been receiving marriage proposals from various places. Sahara and her husband are searching for suitable matches, hoping to find good grooms, particularly those with government jobs, to marry their daughters. Sahara's husband was also a government employee, but has long since retired. Now, he spends most of his time resting. Meanwhile, Sahara's eldest daughter has fallen in love with a young man. She constantly wants to meet with him, and he takes her to different places on his motorbike. Sahara's eldest daughter, Samia, is extremely beautiful and charming, which makes her easily attractive to any young man. The man she fell in love with is also very handsome. Samia often goes out with her boyfriend, telling her family that she is attending university, but instead, she spends time with him, visiting different parks, and spending hours together. One day, this news reached Sahara's ears, and she felt deeply hurt. She called Samia to sit beside her and asked, "Are you in a relationship with someone? Do you like any boy? If you like someone, you can tell me without hesitation." At this, Samia responded to her mother, "If I tell you about the boy I like, will you accept him? Would you agree to let me marry him? If you agree, I will introduce him to you. Not just introduce him, I will bring him directly to our house." Sahara replied, "All right, bring him to the house tomorrow, and I will talk to him." Hearing this, Samia was overjoyed and immediately called her boyfriend. She said, "My mother wants you to come to our house tomorrow. She wants to talk to you personally." Her boyfriend asked, "What will your mother ask me?" Samia replied, "I don't know that." Her boyfriend then responded, "If she asks difficult questions, I might not be able to answer. What will happen then?" Samia reassured him, saying, "Don't worry, my mother is a very kind-hearted person. If she likes you, she will arrange our marriage." She added, "We have to try our best, so make sure to come early in the morning tomorrow. Whatever happens will happen after that." The next morning, her boyfriend arrived in front of their house and honked his bike's horn. Samia came outside and saw him standing there. She then brought him inside the house. At that time, no one else was home. Samia's mother, Sahara, had gone to visit an aunt at the neighboring house, and her younger sister was at college. Her boyfriend asked, "Isn't anyone home?" Samia replied, "No, it's just you and me." Then her boyfriend held Samia's hand and moved closer to her. Just at that moment, Sahara entered the house and saw what was happening. Seeing this, she became very angry. She immediately scolded Samia, saying, "What is going on here, Samia?" Both Samia and her boyfriend were startled. Samia quickly responded, "Mother, we were waiting for you to come home." But Sahara had already understood everything. She then turned to the boy and started questioning him. She asked, "What is your name? Where is your house? What does your father do? How far have you studied? What are your future plans? Do you truly love my daughter?" After listening to all his answers, Sahara realized that the boy was decent enough, but she did not feel comfortable with his character. By looking at his face and expressions, she could tell that he wasn't of good character, so she sent the boy away immediately. The boy, feeling uneasy, left the house. As he walked away, he thought to himself, "I wonder what Auntie must have thought of me. Only Allah knows best." After that, Sahara called Samia to sit beside her and asked her to tell the truth about everything. She wanted to know how long the relationship had been going on and how many times they had been intimate. Though Samia felt ashamed, she confessed everything to her mother. She said, "Mother, my boyfriend and I have been intimate many times, which was wrong and a sin. Please forgive me and allow me to marry him so that I can be freed from this sin." Sahara, shocked by the revelation, replied, "A boy of such character, I can never allow you to marry him, not ever. The moment I saw him, I knew his character wasn't good. As a mother, I cannot knowingly let you marry such a person." Samia tried to defend him, saying, "It's not as bad as you think, mother. He loves me dearly, and all he did was hold my hand. There's nothing more than that." But Sahara remained firm. She made it clear to Samia that she would never agree to her marrying that boy. She said, "You must forget him. If you don't, I will arrange your marriage elsewhere, even if I have to force it." Hearing this, Samia felt heartbroken and started crying, pleading with her mother. She said, "Mother, I cannot live without him. Please marry me to him. If you agree, I am sure father and my brothers will agree too. Please, mother, let me marry him." But Sahara stood firm and told her daughter, "I will never let you marry that boy knowingly. Don't ever bring this up again." With that, Samia went to her room and lay on her bed, crying. As she lay there, Samia began to think, "I can't imagine a moment without my boyfriend. I will marry him, no matter what. If my parents do not accept our relationship, I will elope and marry him. I must marry him. My parents will never be able to find a boy that I like, so I must make my own choice. The boy I love is a good and decent man, and I must marry him, no matter what my family says. It doesn't matter what my neighbors think or what society says. I want to be with my beloved. I am ready to do anything to be with him." Samia then decided, "Tomorrow, I will go to my boyfriend and ask him if he is ready to marry me. If he agrees, we will elope and get married. If he doesn't agree, I will return home and forget him forever." The next morning, Samia left for university, where she met her boyfriend. They sat together on campus, talking. Her boyfriend asked, "What did your mother decide about me? Does she like me or not? Will she agree to our marriage, or does she refuse? And what is your decision, Samia?" Samia replied, "Should I tell you the truth or lie?" Her boyfriend responded, "Tell me the truth. I don't want to hear any lies." Samia hesitated, but then said, "If I tell you the truth, will you get upset?" He reassured her, "No, I won't get upset. Just tell me what's true." Samia then revealed, "My mother saw you holding my hand when you came to our house. Now she thinks you're a bad person with poor character. She doesn't want me to marry you. I begged her, but she wouldn't listen. She made it clear that she will never allow our marriage, no matter how much I plead. I told her that you're a good and decent guy, but she didn't believe me." Her boyfriend asked, "What about you? What do you think? And what do you want to do?" Samia replied, "I'll tell you what I feel. I can't imagine a moment without you. I can't even think of living without you. I want you to be my life partner. I want to marry you." Her boyfriend responded, "But your family isn't accepting me." Samia said, "Whether my family accepts you or not doesn't matter to me. What matters is whether you want to marry me." Her boyfriend then said, "All right, let's get married today." They went to the local marriage registrar's office and got married that very day. After the wedding, they both fled to another city. Back at home, Sahara and the rest of the family were searching frantically for Samia. The entire household was in chaos, with everyone wondering where she had gone. They searched everywhere, but couldn't find any trace of her. Finally, Sahara revealed to everyone that Samia had probably married the boy she liked and eloped with him. The blame quickly fell on Sahara. Everyone, including her own children, started accusing her of being responsible for what happened. Her sons, in particular, were harsh in their judgment, blaming their mother for allowing things to get out of hand. Sahara was deeply distressed by these accusations. She had never wanted her daughter to marry that boy, but Samia had made her own decision. Now, there was nothing Sahara could do. Her sons, bitter and angry, treated her poorly and eventually distanced themselves from her. Sahara was left alone, heartbroken, and filled with regret. A year later, something shocking happened that left everyone speechless. Sahara became pregnant at the age of 80, and her three sons and daughter became extremely angry about this. They all started saying, "Why did you need to have a baby at this age? Because of you, we are hearing all sorts of negative comments from people. You have tarnished our honor. Why did you take this decision at this age? You didn't do the right thing." In response, Sahara said, "My children, I don't know how this happened to me. Giving and withholding children is all in Allah's hands. I never imagined I would become a mother at this age, but by the grace of Allah, He has given me a child in my womb. What can I do about it?" However, Sahara's sons showed her much contempt and treated her with great disrespect. Despite this, Sahara continued to endure everything in silence. As time passed, the behavior of her children worsened. When her pregnancy reached 8 months, an incident occurred that Sahara would remember for the rest of her life. One day, her sons came and verbally abused Sahara and her husband. They said, "We don't need parents like you, parents who cause us shame in front of people. We don't need such parents." Sahara and her husband then asked, "What exactly are you trying to say to us?" In response, the son said, "You need to leave this house today, right now. We don't want to see your faces anymore. You have no place in this house anymore. If you don't leave today, we will forcibly remove you from the house. We will have no choice but to throw you out because you are destroying our honor in society. If you leave, maybe we will find some peace. So you must leave this house today." Hearing this, Sahara felt immense pain, and so did her husband. He was very old and couldn't walk properly due to his age. They worried about where they would go if their children threw them out at this stage in life. As they pondered their fate, their children said again, "Why are you delaying? Leave the house now. If you don't leave immediately, we will call the gatekeeper and force you out. Spare yourselves the shame and leave before that happens. We don't need parents like you anymore." So Sahara and her husband left their home immediately. They didn't know where they were going. After walking for some time, they reached the edge of the city and stopped at a roadside to rest. They were exhausted. Some people were passing by and noticed them. Sensing their helplessness, one man approached them and asked, "What happened? Where are you going? Do you have a place to stay?" Hearing this, both Sahara and her husband began to cry and shared their entire story with the man. The man responded, "Don't worry, come to my home. I lost my parents a long time ago, and I live alone in my house. You can stay with me, and I will serve you just as I would have served my parents, inshallah." The young man then took the elderly couple to his home. Once they arrived, they sat down at the dining table to talk. The man wanted to hear the entire story. Sahara, still in tears, began to speak. "Son, I am an 80-year-old woman. I don't know how I became pregnant. It wasn't our choice, but despite our wishes, I became pregnant. Because of this, my children threw us out of our own home, treating us with great disrespect and humiliation. We had no choice but to leave and were stranded on the street. But you rescued us and gave us shelter in your home. In this world, there is no one who understands our pain, but you've given us a place to stay. For this, we will always be grateful to you." Then the young man said, "There is no problem at all. I will take care of you properly, and you will live in this house with respect. You don't need to worry. I am like your son, and you will always see me as your own child." As time passed, the elderly woman's due date drew near. The young man took her to the hospital. Upon seeing her, the doctors were astonished and said, "We don't know how a woman of this age could be pregnant, but regardless, we will do our best to deliver the baby safely, inshallah." The elderly woman was then taken to the delivery ward, where many female doctors were excited and curious. Everyone wondered how an 80-year-old woman could be pregnant. After much anticipation, the elderly woman gave birth to 10 babies. This news spread throughout the entire city. Soon, various media outlets came to cover the story, and the news went viral on the internet. The elderly woman then explained everything to the media, revealing the identities of her children. This news eventually reached her children, who were now too ashamed to show their faces in public. They were deeply embarrassed, as their biggest sin was that they had cast their parents out of their home. This realization left them in great distress. Dear friends, isn't this story almost unbelievable? Even though it seems unbelievable, such incidents are entirely possible. The elderly woman herself didn't know how she became pregnant at that age. Regardless, dear friends, her children should have taken proper care of their parents. Their disrespect and neglect were utterly wrong. Parents are the greatest blessing a child can have in this world. If children treat their parents poorly, Allah becomes angry with them. Allah commands that children always be obedient to their parents. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, instructed his ummah to treat their parents with kindness and respect. If parents are hurt by their children's behavior, it can ruin the children's future entirely. Thus, it is the duty of every child to care for and respect their parents. If you found value in today's message, please give this video a like. We have many more Islamic stories and teachings to share with you. May Allah guide us all to be respectful and loving toward our parents.